People! Hey, this is Donna Meals, Empowered Meals, and we're doing day 11 of the Qualify Your Food and Qualify Your Life challenge. I'm going to do a little bit of life today. As many of you know, I am a certified life coach as well as a health coach. And sometimes I love doing the food thing. Probably gonna do a meal tomorrow, and just do another version of a magic plate. Just to give you guys some ideas. So, but for today, I want to talk about, and I mentioned this the other day, my little Crazy Bix Theory, and this is it's just an amazing. Really good exercise that you can use when people kind of get you down or if you're being bullied, okay? In fact, I kind of developed this, my daughter, love you, Sid, had a really cool chat with her last night for a while. She lives in Japan and it's 18-hour difference, so it's like impossible because sometimes she works nights, sometimes she works days. So, but she suffered with a lot of bullying when she was, in grade school and then into high school a little bit, and it was pretty awful actually. She was actually attacked one time, So I worked with her a lot to kind of get her through some of that, and it's just weird because it can come at you. You don't have to be, be a strange looking kid or have a deformity or something. Bullying comes in so many ways. There's sometimes you have, a boss that's intimidating, or a coworker, or even sometimes your own parent or your family. Not everybody's on the same rung of the ladder as you. And sometimes they're on a totally different ladder. So, but there's people that we have to deal with in our life. And sometimes, it's, sometimes it's difficult. And so if you gather up a practice where it's a safe haven for you, then, that's a great go-to. This is just a little thing that I came up with for my daughter mostly, and for myself sometimes too. And the whole idea is, it's called the Crazy Bix Theory. And the whole idea is, people be crazy, okay? Talked about the other guy that cut me off driving, and, I had the compassion to understand that maybe he had something else going on, and, instead of meeting his aggressive driving with, irritation or whatever, I just said, well, and it's years of practicing this little Crazy Bix Theory that has given me the peace of mind that I don't really give a flying rat's whatever what people think of me. I don't. It's taken me a really long time to get there. I was really a sensitive person most of my life. I still am, but I use that for my benefit, and I don't let anything get me down. Not anymore. So I have a little meme, and I showed you guys this one before. Practice the feeling of happy, happy, happy. Get on your knees and thank the good Lord every morning, for what you're grateful for, or before you go to bed, and just feel that feeling, what that feels like to just be happy. We all have a time in our life that we can remember when we were totally happy, and we can regenerate that feeling in our body anytime we want. That's the amazing power of our mind, especially our subconscious. It does whatever we tell it to. If we tell our subconscious, and language is really important. Oh my gosh. If we say with our mouth and feel something in our heart, we are literally reprogramming our subconscious to act and think and direct us subconsciously in the ways that, you know, that we want it to. I did that with my money mindset. You know, I grew up in a place where we didn't have 5 cents, and I always knew I was destined for something bigger and better, but somehow I've always seemed to be poor my whole life. And but not anymore. Not since I have been practicing how to change my money mindset and just envision myself as prosperous. The more that I do that, the more stuff comes flying in the door. It's really amazing. And, you know, some of you have seen The Secret. I mean, law of attraction, you know, it is law of attraction, but The Secret's kind of like a watered down version of the real deal. You know, when you understand the power that you have with this brain and, you know, using your emotions, remember I said the heart and mind coherence, you can pull anything into your life and you can get rid of everything that bothers you. You just find a way to pivot away from it. And I talked about that the other day. So anyway, that's just a little precursor, but the crazy box theory, okay? Like I was getting at, everybody crazy in one way or another, okay? Everybody's got their little idiosyncrasies, okay? So when you come across, you know, someone and there's something about them and you just have that, that feeling, you know, your feelings are your guidance system. They're not, you don't have your feelings so that you feel bad. Your feelings are there to guide you to say, whoa, okay, I don't like that, or that's not working for me, so that you can, like, I don't know, hightail it out of there or make some kind of pivot to something different, not sit there and feel it, but do something for yourself. So, you know, somebody comes along and they make this crack or something, you know, in the office or whatever, and everybody kind of gets a laugh at your expense or something. That kind of bothers some people sometimes, you know, it can. It is a form of bullying, actually. And, you know, so you say, oh yeah, okay, they always do that. So let's say that, you know, you finally say, I'm going to make a change here. So you think, okay, yeah, I'm going to recognize that. So the next time when that happens, you acknowledge that, okay, and say, oh yeah, I remember that from before. You kind of give it your own little label, or just make a mental impression on yourself and say, okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I've seen that before, so I'm gonna create a file for you over there, whoever that person is that, you know, that bothers you. And you just like make a little mental file and you file it away in their crazy box, okay? Because you've got their number, you've seen this before, you know what that feeling is, and you don't want to feel it anymore. And so basically what you're doing is you're taking that and you're saying, well, whatever this is, this file, it's in your crazy box, not mine. It has nothing to do with me. It doesn't touch me. So you're basically separating yourself from that person and recognizing your subconscious is recognizing that it has nothing to do with you. That's, you know, their deal. And so, okay, cool. So you've made an affirmative action for yourself, and you've taken action. So the next time they come along and they, you know, go do the same thing, you're like, oh yeah, I'll refer to your crazy box. Just refer to the crazy box. And that is so freeing. You've just subconsciously and consciously just totally dismissed what it was that, you know, they're coming at you with. And when they notice that it doesn't bother you and you just, you know, you just walk away or whatever, then they stop doing it, because then they feel like a douche. Hopefully. It takes some time. Some people are a little thicker than others, and they're on a different rung of the ladder. And, you know, you've just elevated yourself. You've given yourself empowerment, and you have basically just stuck up for yourself in a way that gives you're in the driver's seat. I keep saying that, but it's really, it's just really a great little method, you know. So I do that, you know, when it's people that are bothering me, when it's a bullying situation. But, you know, I also have this thing where, you know, many of us have anxiety, and I go through this little scenario in my head. Oh dang, I had my notes in here and I closed my book, unfortunately. I know that they were in here, but you know, there's, you know, things that happen in life that are gonna get us down, or they try to, or whatever. But, you know, sometimes you could sit there and have anxiety about something. Oh, am I gonna get that client? Or, you know, is my cryptocurrency gonna like sink again, or is it gonna stay on the up and up? Which, yes, it's going to. It's going to keep going up. You know, I talk myself into things. I rewrite them. I rewrite the script. During the day, if I had something happen at the end of the day and I realized something was kind of icky, I just rewrite it in my mind and visualize it that it happened the way I wanted it to. It may sound kooky, but it really works. It gives you, your subconscious is so powerful. It runs 95% of everything that goes on in your life. I mean, how many times you driving past, you're driving, but you didn't even notice you missed your exit, okay? Because your subconscious is basically driving. It's kind of scary, but that is actually what happens. Your subconscious takes over. So, you know, let's use that to our benefit. You be in the driver's seat. You know, not everybody on the planet understands these. This is like really a cool hack. You know, that's a life hack for sure. You know, I had to figure all of this stuff out just through a couple years of really trying to get over some tough times. And, you know, I pretty much feel like I'm almost bulletproof. There's not a whole lot of stuff that can get me down. Because when something comes at me that creates, you know, the feeling of anxiety, again, refer to your solar plexus. You know when something is bothering you, even when it's like low grade, you know, a consistent low grade anxiety, something like that. You know, call it out, feel that feeling. Where is that feeling in my body? Call it out, identify it, and say, okay, you know what, you're gone. And you do this thing where you just say, all right, I recognize that, I acknowledge it, okay? I'm going to find a better way to quantify it, rethink it maybe, see if there's any good that can come of it. And I'm gonna just take a step back and I'm gonna stop feeling like that. Take a few deep breaths, bring that calmness into my, you know, into my space here. Two big old deep breaths, you know, nice and slow. I've changed my physiology. I've changed my chemistry, okay? And now I'm going to rewrite whatever that is, okay? I'm gonna pivot. And I'm just gonna rewrite whatever that scenario is and say something like an affirmation, but one that I can believe in, okay? And if it doesn't have to be all the way, like, okay, my cryptocurrency is going to the moon. I could just say, you know, I have the faith, I've done my research that this, you know, this is gonna keep trucking along, even if it, you know, dove down 10 points in a day, which is a lot of money for me with the amount that I have. So I have to talk myself into it. But then I'm like, what am I doing to myself? We catastrophize so much of our life, and it's our subconscious that's trying to keep us safe and alive, and we listen to it. So override your subconscious, reprogram it. So take that step back, take your pivot, rethink it through. Like I said, I'm thinking, no, you know what? It's done this. It's like a roller coaster sometimes. Crypto tends to be like that. It's going to be back up next week and even better. And I did my research. I know. Then you're on a different path. It's the same idea that I was mentioning the other day. Like, you know, if anything bums me out, I just think of golden retriever puppies. I mean, that's a given for me. I can't help myself. I'm going to smile. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to change my state, my chemistry, you know, my physiology, okay? That's the whole purpose of what I'm talking about here in, you know, when you get to the place where, what are we on? We're day number 11, okay? How many times have I mentioned that it's a dichotomy that we live with? It's not only is our health a manner of our, you know, what we eat and the physical things, it's also totally controlled by the mental thing, okay? If you're running around in a low-grade stress, your adrenals are gonna be shot. That's what happened to me. That's why my hair was falling out, okay? It is growing back. It's growing back really dark, like when I was younger. So, and not gray anymore, it's weird. So, I'm getting younger, yes. I have talked myself into it. I've decided I was gonna fix myself, you know? And not only have I been eating right, but I'm doing meditation saying, you know, all right, my wrinkles are going away. I had a horrible scar from that's created, you know, a little on my neck. And, you know, I can feel it tightening up. It's getting better, you know, my skin is better. I'm able to do more on the Peloton with, you know, I have a lot of atrophy on one side of my body still 5 years later, 4.5, almost 5 years, from my spinal cord injury. And, you know, it bothers me. I'm like, I hope, you know, that I can get my one leg back to the same place the other one is, because it's so much weaker. So I feel all of that, and I'm making all of these changes in my head. I'm imagining them, and I'm saying this is what's going to happen, and I am telling my body that I don't have any kind of cancer. It's not going to ever happen for me, and I'm nipping it in the bud, because that's what you got to do. You know, if you want to be healthy, you have to start with your mental state. You have to start with your emotions. You have to be in control of them, okay? They're not put in you, okay? Remember I said they're magnetic. They're not a part of your heart and yourself to injure you, you know? They're there to warn you that this situation is not good. So change it. Change the situation, recognize it, step back, change it, pivot, and go. Take action and do something different. So that's really all I wanted to say. I do have a really cool meme that I am gonna share. This was actually the one that I picked for today. Oh, I like this one too. He who finds a faithful friend finds a treasure. Oh, I love that. That's actually, I think there's a verse like that in, I want to say, maybe Ephesians? I'm not sure. But, okay, so here, stand out in the crowd, push your limits, and go left when others go right, okay? I've been like that my whole life. I've been a rebel. I've taken a lot of guff for it. And I allowed the guff and no more, okay? I'm in charge. I'm in my driver's seat. And I'm going left when everybody else is going right, because I'm not a sheep, and I know I do my homework, I do my research, and I know what's going on in this crazy world. And I'm gonna stand out and do something that's different, and I hope you all join me. And I hope that you're able to take something away from this, because what I just spoke about is probably some of the most important stuff that I have ever learned in my life. And everybody should have the freedom of being able to recognize that for themselves, and the confidence to just go left when everybody else is going right. So anyway, that's it for me today. Woo, 20 minutes. You know, keeping it under 20 minutes. So take care, and I really just wish you all the best night and the best day. Okay.